Welcome, everybody, to the Give It Podcast, the podcast for blurs, for nerds. If you have a fandom, you are most certainly welcome here. We are your hosts, the most, Black Spartan, Show Guy Joe, Tafari TV. Fellas, I know, Tafari, you have been quite the traveler, sir. So, and I know, Joe, you are usually, well, y'all make me look lazy. Y'all both hard workers. How y'all doing?
I'm exhausted.
Same.
I can imagine so.
I went in on my day off today for like a half day because of other management couldn't make it this week because they were off, so I had to cover it in the morning.
Damn. And you know you made it when you made it when it's on your off day and they call you in.
Oh no. I went in knowing I get this is like 6 hours of overtime with $6 additional incentive pay.
Oh, nice. Well, with that being said, guys, as you can see, we are a little bit on the older side, which means that sometimes words will fly, but hey, we don't try to cuss all the time. At the same time, there may be things that might be shown, especially tonight, that might be too intense for younger viewers. So viewer discretion is advised. Aside from that, welcome. So, as you can tell by the title, guys, yes, San Diego Comic-Con. It has gone. Folks are probably still trying to make their way home from Delta Airlines. That also being said, a lot of news did come out from the con, although news also did come out from DreamCon, which again, one of our friends, Tafara, was there. Did you want to talk about DreamCon and things you experienced there, sir, outside of Roxy?
Why did you say that out loud?
It's not like she's going to pop up.
You don't know.
Why do you summon things that which need not be summoned?
Y'all are gonna get me killed.
Oh, if Roxy pops up, I'm gonna laugh.
Stop it. I feel bad because I actually did miss her set during the comedy show. Her and Mo Lowry, who were good friends of mine. Tut Weezy, we've been here for a full minute. I can say this. Tut Weezy coming out in full Piccolo paint as Nigolo was absolutely ridiculous. That's what he called himself. That I had to go to Cleo's press conference, which was at the same time. There was so Dream and Blurry get a lot of criticism, but it is so much fun if you go. Everybody from like the elderly to the super young have a good time. Even when there's incidents where they're not the only ones and they are very fast to talk to authorities. What all news came out, because I didn't find out there was a new combat pack until we got into the press conference. He was like, "Did you guys see it?" I'm like, "I wasn't even in the gaming hall all weekend," which is usually where they drop Mortal Kombat stuff.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun getting to meet Kev on stage, getting to talk to Chase Conley, who worked on X-Men 97, Najee Jeter, who actually is the voice for Miles Morales in the Spider-Man games that are out right now, and he played Sam in the first Last of Us game.
Nice.
And then getting to learn a lot about that and a lot of tidbits that dropped during those interviews. And then going to the Vigilante screening for the third time, getting to see that short film supporting Wes Armstrong and Cleo and that whole team. And then Cleo actually got a new role that he has coming up because someone saw that fan project. So nice. DreamCon is very much a place for possibilities and where you can get bullied if you don't act correctly.
Well, bullied in the right way. It's more like correction, really. But
right, that's what I'm like. You see how nobody like wished death on the kid? They're just like, hey, go do that somewhere else. Kindly.
He had to learn the hard way, and much like the hard way, he will remember it. You know, as all things. But
he will hopefully teach that lesson to others. Because if NPC Miles Morales and Sexy Red can show up and be on their best behavior, so can y'all.
Ain't that the truth. But thank you, Tafara, for that. But yes, getting back to San Diego Comic-Con, we might as well start with the news that everybody didn't see coming, but at the same time, a lot of people somehow are still mad about it. And I'm talking about this.
As proof of the unimaginable possibilities in the Marvel multi-universe, we give you the one person who could play Victor Von Doom.
New mask. Same task. What did I tell you? I like playing complicated characters.
Yes, so if you were under a rock or just avoid social media or decide to watch the Olympics all week, yes, Robert Downey Jr. will be playing Victor Von Doom in the MCU. And, well, if you've also been paying attention to social media, a lot of people are, how can we say this, guys? Happy, unhappy, immediately ready to criticize before anything gets done?
Doctor Who syndrome.
Yeah.
That's one way to call it, yeah.
No, go for it. I'm letting you guys roll with this one first. What do you think? Because again, they said that and I want to stress this very heavily. I know Joe's going to stress it. I know Tafara is going to stress this heavily. That that Dr. Doom, which they said would be casted. Robert Downey Jr. is supposed to basically take the role of Victor Von Doom. Do we see it as a red herring, or just folks just being in their feelings, or did no one read Superior Iron Man?
Yes to all the above. It was weird watching everyone experience this in real time, because at one point you watch everyone, like we're at the con and everyone's phones are just lighting up and they're just checking down, and it's just a sea of mixed reactions. The most random one being we were walking through the vendor hall and I hear somebody ask, "Hey, where'd you get the Keyblade from?" And I look up and it's goddamn Tariq from Abbott Elementary. Just Zach Fox just randomly walking around, dressed like a Waffle House worker, handing out these like mixtape pamphlets for this cartoon he's doing. And I'm just like, this is the most random series of events. And then Kira comes around the corner with her mics and was like, "Can we do a quick interview?" Like, "So how do you feel about Robert Downey Jr.?" He was like, not a fan. We'll see how it goes. And this is all in the span of like 3 minutes.
You know what? At this point, you need to start scratching off lottery tickets, sir.
I do today, but yeah, I don't know. If you're telling me this is basically the anti-Tony, if it's just one bad day, Tony, or if I'm curious if he'll be in this Fantastic Four film.
He is. He's confirmed.
Oh, he is.
Oh. So he will. So he basically will be playing 60s Victor Von Doom, since it's set in the 60s. But Joe, also I'm throwing this to you, sir. With the casting of Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom, are people reacting too quickly, or are we just experiencing fan syndrome here?
I mean, it's definitely Doctor Who syndrome. I mean, you get tell who the casting is, they hate it.
Mm-hmm.
They watch the movie, they love it. Then when they get recast, they hate it again, and so on and so forth, and the cycle continues. I personally see it as a fantastic win, because to me, this is like their ultimate hero now becomes their ultimate villain. And also, we need to keep in mind, like, he may not be a variant of Tony Stark. Like, we see that Pedro Pascal is Reed Richards, and yet also John Krasinski is Reed Richards. And the guy from Asian Jim is also Reed Richards. If you don't get that one last joke, that's not my fault. Safari got it. Randall Park is also Reed Richards. So there, you can either be throughout the multiverse, you can be the same person with two different faces, or you can be just the sheer coincidence of the multiverse happen to look like each other, but be two entirely separate people. Plus, I'm not sure if Fantastic Four is set in the MCU entirely. I have a feeling that they are going to be their own universe and then come into our universe.
So kind of a Captain America introducing him into the MCU type style?
Kind of, or more like the end of the Marvels, where Photon meets their Ms. Marvel and Beast.
Yeah, that could work too.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if Galactus, Silver Surfer, and Doom are all in one movie. We
Mhm.
already know what the plot of Fantastic Four is going to be. It's going to be Cosmic Doom.
Yeah.
And then
And-
Doom's just going to be like, wave a hand. Oh,
Mhm.
multiverse. I can go conquer that.
Yeah. But
Plus, I mean,
but
those two are
no,
intrinsically tied. Sorry.
go ahead.
Those two are intrinsically tied. We have the what if of Demon in the Armor. If
Mhm.
you look at, let me think, what's a good thing? Well, Superior Iron Man, where everybody got their morality shifted, so he became more Doom-like. And when Tony was dead and Ironheart was still new, Doom took up Tony's spot in Infamous Iron Man.
Yeah.
And that ran for 2 years.
Yeah.
Even in the animated series, in Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Doom only showed up twice.
True.
But both times he was there to wreck Tony's, to aid Tony to further his own plans and just prove to the world, I'm Dr. Doom. Don't come to my doorstep unless invited.
Pretty much. Don't go down there, Liberia.
So like, I don't see the problem with this. I understand. I don't know how to phrase this without sounding like a complete ass. But like, if you don't, this is one of the scenarios where if you don't do the homework, this doesn't make sense to you. But for those of us that have been reading, we're more okay with it because those two pal around a lot in comics. Yeah. There's a time travel escapade. They were together. I believe they teamed up to go back into the Camelot times to go fight Morgan Le Fay at one point.
But that's not offensive, though. It's not offensive. It's not offensive to sit there and say that if you haven't, and we've all said this, that there are a lot of, I'm just going to say it, fair weather MCU fans that only use the MCU as their only way of,
which is fine. And to them, and I don't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
Go.
And to them on the outside, getting Robert Downey Jr. to play Doom does probably seem like lazy casting because they like. In all honesty, if we're going to get someone with a name, I would think Mads Mikkelsen would make the better choice.
And that's another thing,
too. I would also go with what I originally said of cast nobody. Just get a decent sized no-name actor and then hire a voice actor.
But here's the thing, though.
Never see him face.
But here's the thing I'm also going to point out that a lot of people are missing. I said, you guys do realize this whole phase is the multiverse saga.
Yeah.
So the whole idea of, Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Doom. He could be a version of Doom, but not the Doom that you're going to see throughout this telling of the MCU. And like you said, Mads Mikkelsen is a good casting, I think, for Dr. Doom. I think the man can rock Hannibal. I will still go back and watch Hannibal on Peacock just because I loved how he took that character. But at the same time, could he do Doom? Absolutely. Could Cillian Murphy do Doom? Absolutely. If you don't know who he is, watch Peaky Blinders. The guy really can. The right guy really can act. But
Mortensen, actually Liam Neeson would not make a bad Doom.
Right. So it's just like what I'm getting at is before we go on to the other news, what I'm getting at is, guys, it is called the multiverse saga for a reason. That for the simple fact of the matter is what you see as one casting does not mean it is casting throughout the entire saga. Because the whole idea of the multiverse is that we do get variants and we do get different Earths and things of that nature. So I'm just saying, not to quote a quarterback I don't like, but relax. Simply put, relax. MCU fans have killed me because the last phase they couldn't wait to complain. You complained about She-Hulk. Nothing was wrong with She-Hulk. If you read a She-Hulk comic, that's exactly how the show was supposed to go. You complained about the Marvels again. Actually, a solid movie. You just wanted to crap on it. And I can keep going down the line here, but now that they're bringing back on certain directors, which I'm about to go into momentarily, and the fact that we're bringing in Doom because Gucci Loafers messed up his own role. It's called what it is.
Although that clip I sent you from the end of Ant-Man is now infinitely more funny.
I was messed up when I saw the clip the clip for all those that are not on our Facebook group chat. If you remember Ant-Man Quantumania at the very end where Paul Rudd's having that inner monologue of did we do the right thing? Because he did say if he doesn't get out, something else is going to happen. If you apply it to what we know now, it's funny. But again, getting away from that. But like I said, directors did want to get to that because, again, we had other news as well. We did know that the Russo brothers are officially signed back on to direct Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret War. As you see, Avengers Doomsday is scheduled to come out in May 2026. Secret Wars is scheduled to come out next year after that, May 2027. Russo brothers have had a great track record with MCU movies. Personally, one of my favorites is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I thought that The Winter Soldier was possibly the best Captain America movie out there. I love the fact that, it gave a grungy kind of a Metal Gear Solid Snake kind of feel to it. You saw to me it was peak Cap and peak Winter Soldier, before Bucky decided to, get his memories back ish. But fellas, how do we feel again with not only the Russo brothers coming back, but now that we know the two titles of the Avengers movies, Doomsday and Secret Wars, is this a bright move or is this Marvel kind of like pulling the ripcord in case, trying to get back to the right track?
I mean, Doomsday, it was originally just going to be a bad guy movie and then Secret Wars. So switching it from Kang Dynasty, which I don't know if they just planned it that well or it was just that well written, but Loki gave them, I feel like, a safe out. And that's what the fans told them and they listened. Seeing how Fantastic Four looks just from the promo art, looks like it's almost set in like this alter Jetsons like level of 60s. I wouldn't be surprised if the Avengers Assemble is multi-dimensional this time. Everybody's in their own homes. We just have technology to call upon people when needed. But when the Fantastic Four, if they somehow end up in 616, you have now left alone a Victor Von Doom with just infinite doors to wherever the hell he wants to go. And now he's just picking and choosing his favorite parts to mess up or assemble like Ultimate Alliance. Okay. Especially now that we know that Infinity Stones work in the void if you make it through the TVA, TSA and don't get your stuff taken.
Right. Joe?
I really hope they change Doomsday to something a little bit better, but I'm glad they're back. I'm more interested now that they're back directing. I want to see who the writers are because that they're just one half of the team. They can direct everything fantastically, but if that script is not up to snuff, then we're gonna have problems.
I would like to think that they're gonna bring back. Again, this is speculation. This is not confirmed. I would like to think that they would bring back the writers for Civil War and for Winter Soldier. I think if they bring those groups of writers back,
like that would make sense for the Captain America because it's a political thriller.
Yeah,
not so much for like these two movies particularly. I don't see those writers being very good because there's no political thriller in Doomsday unless we are literally invading Latveria to attempt to stop Doom from doing something. And then it could be the Avengers political thriller against Latveria. But if it's just a straight smash and bash until we get to Secret Wars, we need someone that can do a better script job than that. Like, again, directing is not an issue in this scenario. It's the writing staff I want to see. And definitely a change in title for Doomsday. Like they're fighting the Kryptonian monster.
Well, I mean,
Doomsday is not a good thing for me.
I mean, for us comic book heads, yeah, Doomsday does make you immediately go to DC. I'll give you that. But I I think it works. Like I said, they have literally a whole year. I don't think they're going to change the title. I think they're kind of dead set on it. But it still works, especially with the fact of what we know now for the casting. And I'll give it to you. I do want to see who's going to be writing it, who's going to be writing both movies. Like I said, I still hope it's some of the writers from The Winter Soldier. I still hope it's some of the writers for Civil War, because there was a lot of great literature in both those movies. But you're going on Secret Wars, and let's be honest, Secret Wars is one of those it's like
it's make or break.
Yeah, it's like get it right or don't get it right at all. It's like either get it right or leave it alone. But again,
to argue my point on Doomsday, I don't think they're settled on this. How many times has Captain America been Captain America's Serpent Society?
That's what I'm about to get to next. Or Captain America, or what was it before Brave New World?
New World Order.
New World Order was it the other one? So it's like, yeah, fair point.
I wish they would have kept, but I understand the reason for the change.
Yeah, New World Order was just a little bit on the nose, a little bit. But speaking of Captain America, two things. Again, if you were at the Hall H, you got to see it. There was some footage of adamantium being actually talked about in the MCU, as far as the White House having a little bit of a demolition. Outside of that, Giancarlo Esposito's role was revealed, and I was all the way wrong. He did explain that to the panel he will be playing Seth Walker, otherwise known as Sidewinder of the Serpent Society, in Captain America Brave New World. If you are not familiar with the Serpent Society, they have a lot of tie-ins in the MCU, and the fact that he is basically playing the King of Serpent Society, he's going to be really in a lot. He's going to have a crossover with a lot of the Marvel heroes. So before we get to Fantastic Four and how that's going along, are we surprised that a renowned actor such as Mr. Esposito will actually be the king of the Serpent Society? That wasn't on my list at all. What about you guys?
No, because honestly, if there's any way you need in a film about espionage, especially when you have to keep shifting the plot because of the real world things happening, he fits. Between the ending of this phase, this last half, I feel like we're kind of getting to a steady landing of this plane. So we have a magical aspect, we have a scientific dimensional aspect, and then we have a real world aspect as far as government espionage, Tiamat finally being addressed. I don't know when She-Hulk season 2 is, but I think she could also fill in the gaps for a lot of these that we have yet to address or connect.
It'll probably be either a year now or 2 years from now. We'll probably get a season 2. I'm glad we're getting a season 2 of She-Hulk. But I'm sorry, what you were saying tomorrow?
But even if you have her I'll also get back to the sprinkle people around a little bit. Like Wong has been all over phase 4 and 5, and no one is mad at it. Like if you were to tell me she came in, if they brought her in as legal counsel at some point during, what is it? We have either Daredevil or Daredevil, Thunderbolts, or this, I'd be happy for it, because at least we are showing the connections between all these people.
Yep.
But Giancarlo, I don't know much about the Serpent Society, but I'm hoping his role is long lasting in this, for at least for a couple projects.
Depending on one we're talking to, they're a loose superhero branch that Hydra employs every so often. Honest to God, I thought he was going to be GW Bridge.
That was the name I kept hearing a lot.
That was the name that kept getting thrown around, and I could have sworn that was it. It made sense because of his tie to the his tie to the Thunderbolts, and that would have been a nice little link to it. But again, I'm not mad about Serpent Society, because one, I hope the Seth Rollins footage is not completely gone. I hope it's not, because I do want to see him. I don't know why, just because I'm a fan of wrestling. I do want to see Seth Rollins acting in MCU. So I hope even though it was cut from Brave New World, even though it was cut from New World Order, I'm hoping it's in Brave New World. But again, hopefully we'll see.
I bet he appears as like a mini boss for like a hot 5-minute fight or something, and then he's done.
I just want to see it personally. Also, like I said, we're getting this was also announced again. This is the reason why going to San Diego Comic-Con is crucial, especially when Marvel's there. For those that were there, they got to see a little bit of footage from Fantastic Four First Steps. That is the title of the movie. It is confirmed to be actually during the 1960s. So expect a lot of Americana during that time there. Again, they did show a clip. We don't have it. I will sit there and say that if you are good at Twitter, you could probably find it because I guarantee somebody has it out there. I'm just not brave enough to go find it and play it because I don't want Disney sending assassins after me. So,
right.
But yeah, aside from that, Thunderbolts, which I was going to ask Joe about because again, there was a little bit that they showed that the guy who played Red Guardian, I can't think of his name because he also did play a good Hellboy, which he never got credit for. Thank you. He actually came out in Red Guardian gear and full Red Guardian gear and was really hyping up the crowd. And again, if you were there, you got to see a clip of that. And they actually showed a lot. But again, this is all the things that we're talking about that Marvel is moving forward on. I mean, with Thunderbolts, with Brave New World, with Fantastic Four, the casting of Doom. We do know there's 2 Avengers movies along the way. We do know there's a Shang-Chi movie that is eventually going to get made. We do know there's going to be a She-Hulk season 2 that's going to be sometime come around the pipe. And of course, Agatha's television series, which will eventually be. Why are you shaking your head, Joe?
There is no season 2 for She-Hulk.
There isn't?
There isn't?
No.
There was talk of it.
At Hall H?
No, not in Hall H. No.
That got...
not in Hall H.
Missed.
No, not in Hall H. This was, I want to say this was D23. Because it was rumored that She-Hulk news will be coming out in D23.
She-Hulk season 2 has been canceled due to high production costs and mixed audience reception for the previous season. The decision was reportedly influenced due to budgetary concerns. Featuring the main character with extensive special effects, She-Hulk will be more likely returning in the MCU in future theatrical releases. Most notably, Brave New World, where she will play counsel for Isaiah Bradley.
Right, that makes the most sense. That and Thunderbolts, dealing with a bunch of rogue people who may or may not be.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I mean, I can see her being in movies. I don't know because, like I said,
she's gonna continue living through cinema, much like how Bruce does. So. Yeah. I want to see what the full. Thunderbolts. I want to see what the full name of the movie is going to be because right now it's still Thunderbolts Asterix.
You think they're going to give us something more?
Well, I mean, they're going to have to because I mean, they even teased that the Asterix was a placeholder for something.
Yeah, fair. But we're going to see. But to break the monotony, guys, with the news, Mortal Kombat 1. Again. Everybody seems to love it. I'm kind of jealous. I haven't got to play it yet. Actually has busted out with their next story chapter, I can call it. We guess you can call it. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's a Mortal Kombat trailer. Expect gory stuff. You have been warned. I don't know how many times I can say that, but this is actually Mortal Kombat 1 Chaos Reigns.
This is a story or a combat
Yeah, this is a story expansion.
No divine rules. I choose what is right. I hold the power. And I choose to bless all beings everywhere with anarchy.
This new Havoc is different from ours. He doesn't want freedom. He wants to burn everything down.
Let real warriors handle this.
My will is unbreakable. The future is chaos. All must embrace it.
You sound like Bihan.
I am he, though not as you remember.
What did Havoc do to you?
He perfected me.
First Shang Tsung, now this Havoc?
This will be amusing.
Will the threats from these titans never cease? Tell me, how do we escape this crisis?
It disgusts me how you've corrupted the Lin Kuei.
Make no mistake, we are here because of your treachery.
There will be blood. Do you like scary movies? Finish him.
All right. So that was Mortal Kombat 1 Chaos Reigns. As you can see, it has a lot. You do get to see Sector and Cyrax. You actually get to see Chaos, and they're bringing back Emanalities. So
they mentioned it, but I didn't know what they were talking about when we did the press conference.
Wow. I mean, when a man pulls his own head off and beats you with it, that's disrespectful. But what do we think, guys? The next story, I guess it really more it's a pack, but at the same time, it's kind of like what Aftermath was for Mortal Kombat 11. It's a whole new story. But what do we think?
You are getting your money's worth out of it, at least.
Yeah, you definitely are getting that. I like the fact that they're doing something different. Sector and Cyrax used to have such a robotic personality, but now instead of them just being full-on cyborgs, it's almost like exoskins or biosuits. It kind of gave me Ninja Kamui vibes for a second. That's what I got out of it. But I definitely like it. I gotta hurry up and get more Kombat 1 so I can play it. But Tafari, Joe, what do y'all think?
I know they wanted Ghostface for a long time and that other tournament. I feel like they need to just make a movie fighter at this point with the amount of characters they pulled in and clearly have licenses for. Like
Ghostface though? I mean,
I've heard
the WB movie.
I'm like, of all the okay, I'm not knocking it. It's just okay. You have T-1000, you have Conan the Barbarian, you have Ghostface. I don't really see that and again, this is just me. I don't really see that as a fighter that I ever wanted in Mortal Kombat. Because
I've heard some people say they wanted Ghostface for a while. Ghostface and the T-1000, So both of those two showing up are someone's happy for that, and then getting Noob Saibot and what was it, Sector as female variants this time.
Female variants of Sector and Cyrax, and
Yes.
and Noob Saibot, which again is Bihan, but I'm not I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking those. Because Noob Saibot, his fight style looks way different than I remember. And Cyrax Sector, there is some change as well. So I'm not knocking those characters. I just thought it was interesting that Ghostface of all, at least I was like, well, I kept expecting the thing from Jeepers Creepers, honestly. That fits more than anything else.
Him and Chucky are two other ones I've heard requested a lot too.
Chucky would be the odd job of Mortal Kombat.
You would need some way, you'd have to figure out the height difference.
Right. Chucky would be the odd job of Mortal Kombat. But I mean, I'm not against it, but at the same time, it's just like, did you really need that? But again, I digress. I'm still gonna play it regardless. But Joe, any thoughts on that?
What? The Cyrax looked like it was a multiversal version of Jackson Briggs.
It did, didn't it? It really did.
I was gonna ask, is that young?
A little bit.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna ask, is she back or did we just find another?
No, I think these are legit. I think they are legit gender bent Sector and Cyrax, because Sector and Cyrax was originally an Asian dude and a black dude. But they are fundamentally different this time around. Original Sector never had the spider arms that came out of the body, and Cyrax didn't have like the nets and the bombs. But this time around, it's got like the constricting foam. So there are some differences between the female variants and the male variants. Honestly, I don't see that as an issue. I like that. That stupid ass hat on Noob Saibot's got to go though.
You don't like Noob, how they did Noob Saibot?
I mean, unless he's a little, unless this is the ninja from Deutschland, nah, hat's got to go.
It'll be interesting to see how he plays. I was like, the whole shadow counter thing is going to be interesting. But either way, looking forward to when it comes out. Getting back to San Diego Comic-Con news, guys. Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power is good. There was a season 2 trailer out for it. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I never finished season 1, so I am way, way, way behind. If you guys who have Prime Video got to watch the Rings of Power, the first season and loved it, well, congratulations. You're getting a season 2. One of these days, I'll be able to sit down and watch it. Like I said, I don't really have I'm a Lord of the Rings fan, but I, can't really give it my due diligence unless I've actually watched it. But letting you guys know that it's actually out. The Boys. If you watched the last season, it is if you watch season 4 finale, again, you can go back to our previous podcast and we get our opinions on season 4. It is heading toward the final season of season 5, which is going to be a crazy story. But the news that actually came out of San Diego Comic-Con, guys, is that we are getting a prequel of sorts called Vought Rising. This is basically going to be following Soldier Boy and Lady Liberty, who is also known as Stormfront. So again, this is the beginnings of when Soldier Boy was starting with Payback. So you're going to see Black Noir. You're going to see a lot of the former characters that was in that flashback episode of The Boys. I think it was season 3. So again, I'm not knocking it. I love it. Jensen Ackles is knocking it out of the park as Soldier Boy. He will probably be making an appearance in the final season because that final season of The Boys, if you've read the graphic novel, for how it ended, it is going to be that crazy. Tafari, I know you watched The Boys. Will this actually make you want to watch the sequel for Vought Rising?
I mean, I'll watch it just because I'm hoping that between this and Gen V, it's a past story, but I'm curious to see, one, it gives us a chance to give Esposito back in kind of running the show, how he's been all this time, and seeing what fail safes he had up until this point. Maybe we see him and young Vicky. But I'm hoping we get a lot of flashback and forwards and just universal tie-ins with this new series.
Yeah.
And even seeing up to possibly young Homelander's creation.
That would actually be cool too. But since the show will be set in the 1950s, it pretty much tells the beginning how Vought, before they became the mega company that they are, still being run by Kripke and Company. So as long as that man's running the show, I've got no complaints. I have full faith in that. But speaking of things that have full faith in the guys, Creature Commandos from DC Studios was also announced. Even more so, there's actually a trailer for it.
General Flag. This is Belle Reve. For over 50 years, only those at the uppermost levels are aware of its existence.
I thought Congress put a stop to all Task Force X activities.
Congress said you can't use human prisoners. These assholes aren't human.
You smiling?
Yes.
Sarcastically?
Mm-hmm.
He's pissing!
This is your new task force.
It's been oh so long since G.I. Robot has sent Nazis back to hell.
Let's call it Task Force M. M for Monster. Also known as...
And guys, that was the trailer for Creature Commandos. As you can see, will be on Max this December. I'm looking freaking forward to it. I got nothing else I can say about that. Tafari Joe, you got more? Look, I'm happy. I'm happy about it. But what do you guys got on it?
This is the start of animated DCU connecting to real you, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I know they said whoever's in this animated is reprising their roles in real life. So,
yeah,
this is the start. And I mean, this is a current period, or this is a period piece show.
This is how can I put this, Joe? For Creature Commandos, it's more of a set place in time than anything.
No, I don't think in this. I don't think in this particular iteration it is. I think no, in other versions it's. No, we're thinking of the Howling Commandos from Nick Fury for set in time.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Creature Commandos is like Creature Commandos usually handle like Black Ops magic stuff.
Yeah. So that. But either way, it's gonna be fun to watch.
So, like, if it's a magical threat, like say Days of Vengeance, when the Spectre was controlled by Eclipso, and all magic was under threat, they can call in Creature Commandos because they usually deal with the monstrous, the unknown, and the unknown, and the magical.
Okay, but I mean I just love the fact they're running with it, just because that was one of my favorite comic books. But again, comes out this December, so I was kind of hoping October, but I think October is being left to Disney.
Well, if it's September, the show at least spills. I don't know if it's going to be weekly, but at least spills over into October, so they can at least run Halloween rampant. If the show does take place anytime in the past, I'm only asking because I would like to see young revolutionary Granny from Blue Beetle. I'd like a crossover with her revolutionary days and how she learned to handle a Gatling gun so easily.
Oh yeah, Nana was on. Abuelita was. She was a revolutionary, because you ain't gonna stand telling me she handled a machine gun that was like, you were too comfortable with that, ma'am. Way too comfortable. But no. But again, guys, other things that did come out. Again, let me start with this one. Yeah, because this also was announced. They actually did the trailer for it. Hellboy: The Crooked Man, and
okay,
let me play the trailer before I actually give my opinions on this.
There's something going on here. I need to understand it. Like you do.
That's exactly why you shouldn't be here.
You might say a demonic entity falls under our expertise.
Crooked Man's waiting on you.
That's interesting. Oh, you didn't want me to squash?
No, squashing's good.
I heard tales about him all my life. Most just called him the Crooked Man.
I thought Big Red wasn't scared of anything. Well, I know something you're afraid of.
You hear something?
Your road ends in the dark like mine. Let's just keep on coming.
It ain't even really begun.
Come on, Snake, let's rattle.
Let not your horns be troubled. By way they know not.
I will make the darkness light. And the crooked things straight. You doubt the power of prayer, son? Just in case.
Okay, so that, guys, was the trailer for Hellboy: The Crooked Man. I'm not going to call it a reboot because it kind of feels like if at first you don't succeed, keep trying for some odd reason. And this is not a knock on any of the previous Hellboys, whether Ron Perlman, whether what's his name? Damn,
David Harbour.
Whether he played it, which I thought he did really well. But now we're getting a third. Now, The Crooked Man, there is some good points about this. Number one, one of the guys who actually written it, Mike Mignola, forgive me if I completely destroyed your last name, he's actually a part of this, which actually does give me a little bit of hope to actually watch the movie. Because The Crooked Man is actually one of my favorite Hellboy stories. With this, it's just I can't get past the look of what they're going for. Hellboy's always kind of had this. I'm not going to say buff because, again, that was Hollywoodized for a second. If you've seen the comics, he's a little bit on the skinnier side with the big red right hand. So I could just be nitpicking here. But the horror element is there. The whole thing of the gothic elements there. I want to give it a fair shot, is what I'm saying. But again, what do you guys think?
I like The Crooked Man because of Wolf Among Us. So the way they kind of had him being like this super shisty guy, and how everyone, the name basically tells you what a bad guy he is, but they couldn't help but like take whatever deal he was offering to the point where he almost weasels himself out of any kind of trouble at the end, and people almost take his side. I'm curious to see how that plays out in a more violent, prone project like Hellboy. I'm hoping the whole movie isn't in this weird ass forest though.
It's not. It's more in the town. If it follows the comic, it's more in the town. Okay. It's partly in the town and it's partly in the underworld. But like I said, if the same guy that actually written the story is the same guy that's being used in the film, I'm not knocking it. So that means you're at least doing what most movies we ask them to do: get it from the source material and actually, tell the story in live action. So I can't knock it. Joe, what about you?
I mean, I'm probably not going to go see it because I can only do horror movies. Watching this looks a wee bit scarier than normal. I'm going to have to, if I'm going to terrify myself, I'm going to go do it with Alien that comes out in like a week or two.
Oh,
that is right around the corner, isn't it?
Romulus comes out like 2 weeks.
Yeah. At least they avoided Deadpool.
Is it 2 weeks?
I was going to say, if they did. Go ahead.
I think I'm too biased on Hellboy because I have a hard time seeing anybody outside of Ron Perlman as Hellboy. It just kind of seems wrong to me. It's like the Batman that we're getting ready to talk about.
Yeah.
Like, they went very far to find I'm not Kevin Conroy, but I'm definitely honoring the voice of Kevin Conroy with this actor. It's the same thing of, we have Ron Perlman. We have Ron Perlman Hellboy at home. Ron Perlman Hellboy at home. It's not a knock on the actor. It's just one of those, like, I cannot disengage the association between the two, and it just seems wrong.
No, that's fair. That's fair. It's
I
just
hope
for
the
me.
movie's good. I hope they have a good turnout. But it's just one of those, like, if it's not Ron Perlman, it's not for me. And I hate being that way.
I mean, at least you're being honest. What are you going to say, Tafara?
No, I was just saying, what was it? I think it was the first Hellboy one. Like, was the Golden Army the one that everyone criticized, or was there another one I'm thinking of?
No, Golden Army. No, the one that everybody criticized was the reboot with David Harbour.
Yeah. And that was actually good.
When was that? I feel like that was like a blank in time.
That was when Tennessee was getting made fun of on Twitter because Dixon refused to put Hellboy and put Heckboy in the theater.
Okay.
Because of that freaking county. Always Tennessee. Always Tennessee. Anyway, but yeah, that they wouldn't call it Hellboy because apparently hell is profanity, which still I don't know how, but anyway. But again, looking forward to it once he actually has a release date on that. So, before we get into Star Trek news, if you're a fan of Squid Game, or you just like the fact to see how much you can watch people actually kill themselves over money, guess what? We have a teaser trailer for season 2, and yes, it's exactly what you think it is. Although, if what do you say, Tamari?
I still need to finish season 1. Between all the remakes and everyone doing their own version and Mr. Beast, I just never checked out the actual show.
Oh, you should. I would also say, it is. Oh, yeah, that first episode. If you can make it through the first episode, you can make it through anything. But anyway, season 2 teaser.
다시 게임에 참여하시겠습니까?
So that was the teaser trailer. As you can see, guys, they did announce season 2 and the final season 3 coming out. Again, if you have not seen Squid Game, think of Squid Game and Saw had a baby. That's about the best way I can put it. It seems innocent at first until real life or death consequences do come into play. At the same time, guys, it is horrifying, but at the same time, a lot of people really watched it. It was one of Netflix's highest rated streaming shows 2 years ago. It just goes to show you guys, simple fact of the matter, scariness sells. I know I'm watching it. Tafara, I know you said you're going to eventually catch up on it. Joe, I think you said you were passing on it, right? For Squid Game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the first one, I knew who the main bad guy was in the opening 5 minutes of the series. So
is that easy?
Yeah, you figured it out
for me.
You figured out pretty fast who was it. Well, not even that. Yeah, I'm agree with Joe. I take that back. you actually do kind of figure out who's running the show in the first season, in the first episode. You really do figure out who's running the show. And
you don't know how everybody else gets to where they are, but like, who is the main bad guy? Oh, that's so unbelievably obvious.
Yeah,
but it is a good show. It's worth watching. It's just one of those like, oh, you're the main bad guy. I know you're the main bad guy. Don't even bother trying to not say you're the main bad guy.
Don't try to deny it. Definitely don't try to deny it. But yeah. But also one more trailer before we get to the Star Trek news from Comic-Con. The Penguin. That alone is, if there was also another series out of Max that was a terrible segue. If there's one series that's not gonna have Batman in it, but yet still have Gotham, this is going to make me want to watch it. Again, this was the trailer that they showed at Comic-Con as we are getting closer to the Penguin premiering on HBO Max.
Check out the trailer for my new series, The Penguin.
Trust me, it's just the beginning. Come on. You can help me out.
Life is just a dream.
You promised me, Oswald.
I know.
I deserve a better life.
I'm working on it. Well, they set up for the honest man to succeed. That should be the American dream right there. You know, beautiful story with a happy ending. But that ain't the way the world works. America's a hustle. Not that I'm complaining.
Penguin, you waltzed in here like you mean something. We're in the middle of a gang war.
Carmichael's dead. If we don't protect what's ours, we just look weak. The streets are talking again. They know there's only one man big enough to run this city.
Do you remember Carmine's door? Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Sophia, I thought you was still at
Arkham? No. I've been rehabilitated.
You're playing a dangerous game with this family, Hans. You think I want Sophia Falcone knocking on my door?
She is the hangman.
What is it you're really after, us?
Gonna tear down the empire from the inside out. Whoever controls the drug business controls the streets. I'll be running the whole damn trade.
I got it, Bishop. I can help you.
Hey! Feel alive, Vic, huh? Feel your heart beating?
The city is meant to be yours, sweetheart. What are you gonna do to get it?
Trust me. It's just the beginning.
All I can say is I'm sold. I'm freaking sold.
The daughter, was she in the previous movie, or was she mentioned at all, or is this a new
the daughter was mentioned in one line by Falcone in the Batman. And Matt Reeves' the Batman, he mentioned her only once. Because he sat there and said I had a daughter, but I had to send her off. He didn't say where he sent her off, but the whole idea was he did send her off. So the fact that, you know, they are using Falcone's daughter, aka the Hangman, I'm sold. This is exactly how you can do a Batman story without Batman. I'm sold on it. I got nothing more to say except come September 19th, I'm watching.
I'm curious if Rob makes any kind of appearance in this show whatsoever.
Who?
Pattinson. Battinson.
I don't think. You know, that's the question, because this is a limited run. So, I mean, it is possible. Technically he is still around. this is following the events of what happened with the Riddler being locked up in Arkham Asylum. So, I mean, it is possible that he may make an appearance. They've been very hush hush about that. But even if he did, I still would be for it. But the way this series, the way they're getting this series to show, I just have no words. As long as they're keeping it up with the Matt Reeves universe of how they do Batman, I'm definitely sold. But Joe, what about you? You muted, Joe.
It's fine. There's a current Penguin book going on in the stands right now that's really good. I tend to find Gotham PD a much more exciting story than something like the Penguin, which the Penguin is, I'm sure, going to be fantastic. Being a informant and money launderer turned crime lord to one of the people directly opposing to the great crime family of New York's is right up there. But I just feel like if they're going to do something in Gotham, you need to do like a Gotham PD and show just how effed up and corrupt the precinct really is until Gordon gets in there and cleans house. That's just me.
You know, I think that, you know what, that might be the testing water. Yeah, because keep in mind, Gotham on Fox kind of tried to do that, and I think it didn't do as well as we hoped it would do. I know for me, you try to do Gotham without Batman, but you're trying to say that the villains were there before Batman was. But anyway, I still want to see Gotham PD go from a comic book line to a television show. I think they're trying to test out the waters with the Penguin, honestly. But speaking of Batman, though, I did want to give our impressions of Batman Cape Crusader. If you don't know what this is, guys, this is basically, as we said a couple of podcasts ago, this is Batman Year One. This was kind of set back during the 1950s. Bruce Timm, the guy that was behind the animated series for Batman, is also behind this. That's available now on Amazon Prime. There's 10 episodes out there right now. We're just giving our impressions of it. So, Joe, I'm going to first start with you because I know you know, before we talked, you said you finished the entire 10 episodes. What did you think of the first season of Batman Cape Crusader?
This is what I wanted. This is pretty much an homage or a full reboot of the original Batman, the animated series. We have a heavy emphasis on Gotham PD. We deal with very little supervillains, more mob boss stuff we couldn't get away with. So, without saying who, people are being shot, people are being killed. The gender swap Penguin, the only thing I think they missed an opportunity with is her real name was not Meredith Burgess.
I can see that.
Comparing Meredith Burgess was the original Penguin for 66 Batman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there was that. There was also a slight hint to Julie Newmar in one episode. Other character and cast members come back. So we see some people maybe aged a little differently or looking a little differently. Bruce Timm has apparently moved on from the slender female design because these women are some stout, powerful women designs in this show, and it they will hurt you in ways not possible. I will say there is a guest character from John Constantine in one episode. Do you want me to say who or leave it a surprise?
Leave it as a surprise.
Okay. I had to Google who it was, but I was like, why are you here? Batman doesn't deal in magic. Voicing is all fantastic. Again, we are in that weird gray area where this is the Kevin Conroy universe, but you do not have Kevin Conroy. You have somebody who sounds very similar to Kevin Conroy. My one criticism I will say throughout the whole series is we have a very passive Alfred and a very mean to Alfred Batman. And I do not like that.
I'm sorry.
He's not bothering old Alfred either.
True. Tafara, you can go next.
This is a early Caped Crusader though, Batman.
This is like year one, year two.
Year one Batman.
Okay, so he maybe will grow to appreciate Alfred during his escapades, and maybe we build up to that. Same way we see female Penguin maybe has an extra struggle added to their takeover for fighting to be a respectable crime family. Also, do we switch Lucius's role in this series?
Yes, he is not. He is not the executor and CEO of Wayne Enterprises. He's Wayne's lawyer in this one.
He's usually the CEO and like the tech guy, but now he's legal representation.
Director of Applied Science.
This is like true 1920s, 1930s Batman.
Yeah.
This is not like pseudo universe where the crooks are running around with laser pistols from Intergang. Like, they have legitimate firearms in this one.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fair point. But no. For me, I'm sorry, Safar, were you done?
Yeah, I'm good.
Making a point.
It's very, you can very much see the Abrams and Bruce Timm touch to this. It's very much, here is a more adult-esque animated series, but not the same thing rehashed. So I didn't expect them to drop the whole series on us. I thought we were going to do this weekly.
Me too. Amazon is very fickle like that. But no, just to add to what you guys were saying, to me, this is like the moment I knew Bruce Timm was a part of this, it was gonna be great. The same guy that gave us the original is now giving us another. I won't say it's an extended version, but it's like, this is what you can do with a budget and plenty of creative control. I've only made up to episode 3, but I loved everything they've done with it so far. The Batman voice I'm going to admit, it's going to take a little getting used to, just because Kevin Conroy's voice is iconic. It's labeled in almost everything. Not to say that no one else can do Batman's voice. It's just the fact of what we associate it with. So,
if it's a Bruce Timm Batman, you're expecting to hear.
You are. You are.
Yeah, we almost got the whole gang back together, but for obvious reasons, we did.
Right. And don't get me wrong.
I'm going to be honest.
No, go for it.
There is one character I would expect is like, when are we offing this dude, or when is this dude gonna become the Joker? I was waiting the whole series for something to happen to one particular cast member, and like, you're clearly going to be the Joker. When are we pulling the trigger on this?
And they're pretty much that's the thing. I think they're waiting to see.
Apparently he's a whole different character.
Yeah.
Okay, they did it because they did announce season 2 is approved and Joker will be in season 2. That is not spoilers. That you can find that anywhere. But there was just a particular cast member, because I've never seen this dude before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he was in Gotham City PD or in Batman Year 1. But I'm just like, when are you going to become the Joker? Because you're not here for. I don't know who you are. Granted, I'm not a big Batman reader. Self-proclaimed. I prefer everything else, but I'm like, who are you, and when are you going to become the Joker?
See, now I have to go back and watch these other 7 episodes to see where you are. But it seems like
I'm on episode 10.
Oh, well, you finished it. Yeah, you're at the finale, so I have to get to where you are. Yeah, I have to get to where you are, because now you have my curiosity up. But again, as from all 3 of us, if you do have Amazon Prime, you can definitely watch all 10 episodes right now. You can watch it in other ways. We at Get Bit can't tell you how to get there, but let's be honest, those avenues along the Grand Line are open for everybody. Have it as you will. Just don't blame us. But we do actually have some Star Trek news that also came out of San Diego Comic-Con. I will start with these first one, to where a new Star Trek series is in development by co-creators Justin Simeon and Tawny Newsome, where this is a live-action comedy. Federation outsiders are serving a gleaming resort planet to find their day-to-day exploits are being broadcast to the entire quadrant. I'm going to be honest. I'll still give it a shot. I still hope, it sounds like it can do well. The fact that they're at a resort planet, it made me immediately think of Ryza. So, I mean, it could be the planet that they're talking about. But yeah, I will still give it a shot once more information about it comes out. We do know with Star Trek, they've had their animated series with Lower Decks. They've had their other series in Discovery, which it wrapped up its final season. Star Trek Strange New Worlds will be getting, I think they're in season 3 now. Correct me if I'm wrong. And of course, there is also another Star Trek, again, we'll talk about very soon as well. But with those shows, do we think that a live action comedy would work for Star Trek? Or is this, unknown? Is this kind of unknown territory that may or may be make it or break it for the show?
You should have used Undiscovered Country and kept it Star Trek themed.
I couldn't find the words. I was looking. I was trying. I couldn't find the words.
I'll go lead on this one because I watch almost everything Star Trek now. I mean, Tawny Newsome is Beckett Mariner and helps out on the Star Trek podcast. She is an incredibly funny woman. She is great at being a lead actress, be it animated or otherwise. I mean, she made her live action Star Trek debut with the crossover episode with Lower Deck and Strange New Worlds and killed it there. So her being the principal writer and creative for this thing, I trust it.
Okay. Tafari, now knowing that Star Trek is going to be doing a live action comedy, how do you feel about it?
I don't normally think comedy with Star Trek, but I've heard nothing bad about Lower Decks, and
Lower Decks is good.
Yeah, and the fact they're just kind of expanding into the world of Star Trek. The premise, though, there is like literally an entire episode of Futurama. They do this exact thing, so that's why it somewhat sounds familiar, and I'm curious how they stretch that out for a whole season.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be interesting. But like I said, we don't actually have a lot of news on when it's coming out. We do know that the pilot was the actual series was ordered. And other Star Trek news, guys, again, another series that's going to be coming out very soon called Star Trek Starfleet Academy, which is set to begin production actually in this current month right now. And at this point, we only have casting. So as you can see right there, Carice Brooks, Bella Shepherd, George Hawkins, Kareem Dayan. If I mispronounced that, I apologize. Zoe Steiner, Tig Notaro, Odette Fair, Mary Wiseman, and Robert Picardo, Holly Hunter, Paul Giamatti, and Gina Yasher will all be casting in this. Now, again, Tig Notaro will be replacing her character from Discovery, so will Odette Fair. Mary Wiseman, Robert Picardo will be his hologram character, his Dr. Hologram character from Voyager. So they will be revising their casting. As well as joining everybody else. I'm curious to see how Starfleet Academy is going to work, because considering the fact that the final season of Picard, we see his son going into Starfleet Academy. So it's like, are we following the next season of Picard? Or are we trying to expand the Star Trek universe, which I know is weird to say because it's already expanded. So because we don't really have a lot on this, what's the direction, Joe? Because I know you do follow this right along with me. What do you think the direction that Starfleet Academy may go?
I think this is well after Picard, because this is following the time jump forward with Tilly reestablishing Starfleet Academy, because this has been like foreshadowed and mentioned constantly with Tilly leaving, I believe, because the actress may have been pregnant at the time. Don't quote me on that one. I believe that was the case, though. And Tig Notaro wanted to do other things because I think she was shooting the Zack Snyder zombie movie at one point.
The Rebel Moon or Planet of the Dead?
No, the zombie heist movie, the one that we didn't think was too terrible.
Dang it, I can't think of it. I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of the name of it to save my life right now.
But no, like even in the series, they've been foreshadowing this for a while, since season 4, where Starfleet has gotten together and Tilly only comes in every so often. So like this has been a long time coming. This is in the Discovery timeline, not the Picard timeline.
Okay, so it's gonna fall Discovery then. My bad.
Yeah.
cool. Still, I still want to see Picard. I still see Robert Picardo. I just want to see his character back along with everybody else.
He's getting some mileage again because he's also playing in season 2 of Prodigy on Netflix.
Oh, so yeah, he definitely will get some. He's definitely getting a lot of screen time. But that's cool though. So I'm not knocking it. But Tafari, I gotta ask, sir, does Starfleet Academy make you interested in watching it, or?
I might actually start Lower Decks. I feel like these are all projects that are coming out where it's just like, hey, you don't have to know like Philip J. Fry 50 different seasons worth of lore and stuff. You can just kind of jump in and have fun.
Yeah.
And now to see that Picard is wrapping up, I feel like these two will give me a new entry point to at least dabble in Star Trek a little bit more than I did in middle school.
I will say watching Lower Decks with prior Star Trek knowledge makes it a little bit more special, but it's also a decent jumping on point because it's a new ship, a new crew, new cast. Like when they come to Nashville, all Sunday is going to be Lower Decks Day, so I'm going to go there, get some autographs, and then bring a pie for the guy who plays Rutherford as a long running joke because of the one episode where they were all ready for Pie Day and then it got canceled. And rather than just like let them like get free pie, they actually dispose of the pies.
Nice. Well, speaking of Lower Decks, that kind of gives a wonderful segue to the season 5 teaser trailer for it.
5 seasons in it already.
Final season.
For the last 5 years, they have thrilled us with their adventures, amazed us with their discoveries, and inspired us with their courage.
So ethical.
Their ship has journeyed beyond imagination. Her name has become legend. Her crew, the finest ever assembled.
Don't you give me that sarcastic Vulcan salute!
We have traveled with them from one corner of the galaxy to the other.
Oopsie.
They have been our guides, our protectors, and our friends.
Lower Decks! Lower Decks! Lower Decks! Lower Decks!
Now you are invited to join them for one last adventure.
Whoa, is he talking about us?
Yeah, we're like very important. And this is our last mission.
Yeah, right. We're not done voyaging.
We aren't?
No way, man. We've hardly even cracked one quadrant yet. Come on, Loims.
Mariner!
All right, party people. What's the dish? Man, another quantum fissure. Just like the third one this month. Boo, interdimensional portal. What up, Cerritos? This is Captain Becky Freeman.
Make that one
We're going on a little undercover mission.
last.
Post-scarce society throwing out all their jewels and crap.
What a party.
Everything.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff.
This isn't the end of a story. It's the beginning.
Star Trek Lower Decks.
You fraternize with Starfleet humans? Ah! Wow, was that your girlfriend? Blue, what crawled up her boob window and died? Anyway, what are we drinking?
First test. The right of unending pain.
Oh, unending pain.
This is gonna be Klingon as hell.
And that was the trailer. I'm sorry. That was the trailer for Star Trek Lower Decks Season 5 as the final season. I'm going to start with, because Joe got me onto this. So, Joe, I'm going to start with you. I'm going to let you run with this one.
It's going to be logical as fuck. Actual line from the last season.
Oh, if you have not, I'm sorry, guys. If you have not seen Lower Decks, you really are missing out. It is really a good show. Will have you crying in tears, because I know I was the first 5 episodes. I was damn near in tears. Sad to say that season 5 will be the final season. And it looks like it's not missing a beat.
I love that they even bring about, they even address why Star Trek TOS, the original series, they even say Enterprise TOS in the actual universe, and we learned that it just means those old scientists.
Right. Oh Lord, it's gonna be fun. But yeah, Tafari, if there was a show I would tell you to start with the Star Trek universe post Picard, it definitely is Lower Decks, because God, it'll have you cry. It'll have you crying.
My favorite character is the Vulcan character that comes in season 4 to Lynn. And then we got whatchamacallit, god damn it. The green girl, I gotta Google it.
He's gotta look it up. But yeah, Tafari, it is definitely one of those shows that you will sit down and you be like hooked immediately. But would definitely recommend you watching it.
Is it the same animation team as Rick and Morty?
Yes, kind of, because the very first episode is very Rick and Morty, and then it immediately becomes Star Trek.
Okay.
Like I wasn't like so sure I was gonna like it because like this first episode was very Rick and Morty, and then it goes on to be just a normal good Star Trek show. Yes, so favorite characters are T'Lyn, then Tendi, then Rutherford. God, I love that show so much. So many quotable things that I say on a daily basis to people.
But you'll definitely have fun with that. But other Star Trek news, guys, we did get a look at Star Trek Section 31. If you don't remember what Section 31 is, off Discovery, Michelle Yeoh, this is basically her show. And, well, if you haven't seen the teaser trailer, here it is.
Okay, ladies, now let's get information. I say.
An emperor can only be loyal to duty. Thus does the empire remain strong. Thus does it grow. All hail the emperor!
Philippa Giorgio, you're a tyrant who murdered her own people by the millions. The past always catches up with you.
You're Section 31.
Okay, ladies, now let's get information.
31 is a Black Ops division. Spy work. Starfleet is here to make sure no one commits murder.
What a cute idea.
Prove to me you got some coordination.
It's gonna be bumpy and bad.
You're a bad bitch.
We can't trust you with our lives, but here we go.
Somebody's got to keep it lively, right?
Okay, ladies, now let's get information.
I'm watching it. First off, it's Michelle Yeoh. I will watch that woman all day. That was Star Trek Section 31, guys. Again, if you are unfamiliar, basically it's the less ethical side of Starfleet. That's probably the best way I could put that. It is basically the less ethical side. But I love the fact that, of course, Amari Hardwick is in it. Of course, if you remember him, he played Ghost in Power and other shows. So, and you do see there's other characters that you may or may not recognize in Discovery that are also in the teaser trailer as well. So, again, I am looking forward to this when it finally does come out on Paramount Plus. But, Joe Tafari, what do you guys think of Section 31?
A lot of heavy hitters in these mainstream shows coming out now, but it's for Star Wars and Star Trek. But if this is what's going to pick up after Lower Decks and Picard leave, I think it's a nice
Picard's
little
gone.
Which one's gone?
Picard's gone.
Oh, Picard's already done.
Yeah, Picard's done. But yeah.
Then this is where the torch is being passed to something more action and thriller-ish.
Yeah,
it's not a nice notch to add under the belt. So I might check out 2 episodes.
I just want to see what they go with it. But Joe, what do you think?
I'll watch it. I think this is like supposed to be a movie.
Yeah, it's a movie.
Series.
Oh, so it's not a series.
Yeah, it's a movie.
This is a movie.
Oh,
this is another spin-off of Discovery.
Yeah. It's a movie / let's see how it does. I think it's a movie to see what they do with this and to see if it just goes on to a series. It might go that route, but for right now, it is a movie. But I still, because again, Michelle Yeoh, Brendan Fraser, I cannot think that guy's name to save my life right now, and it's sad because I only want to call him Shorty, and it's sad that I don't remember his name. That's kind of bad because he was also say what?
Chad Gable?
No. The guy who played Ouroboros in Loki.
Ke-Huy Quan?
Thank you. Yes, because they've had a resurgence, and that it's just nice to actually see them get their flowers. That's all I'm saying. But that Section 31, again, when that comes releases, we'll be able to put that out. The last Star Trek news that we do have from San Diego Comic-Con was a clip of what to expect from Strange New Worlds in their next season. And yes, if you ever wondered, can you turn a human into a Klingon? Yes, you can.
Without a Vulcan.
I was able to jury-rig the Kerkovian serum that turned human Spock back into a Vulcan. Should be able to do the same for us, only in reverse.
The sensory change is brief. The feeling is instantaneous. I will guide you through the sensation until you are acclimated, which should not take long. Physical adjustments follow soon after. I would suggest a deep breath. By the time you reach 3, it should be over. 1, 2, 3.
My emotions feel
overwhelming. I cannot handle.
You don't feel anything?
No. And to be honest, I'm a little jealous. That looks like fun.
This feeling is unusual.
My perception has increased. Everything I once found dull now seems to be fascinating.
Oh, poop.
I wonder if the serum did not work on you because you're lanthanite.
Honestly, I had the same problem with LSD in the 1960s and the 1990s and last July.
Since Pelia cannot become Vulcan, I can cover her part of the mission.
I suppose I can direct you from the bridge. 5 Vulcans should be more than enough down there.
4 1/2.
Spock is only half Vulcan, whereas the 4 of us
are fully Vulcan. Is that not logical, Spock?
Indeed, it is.
Wow. Your ears are so pointy.
Number 1, 4 1/2 Vulcans to beam down. Energize.
Status report. Mitchell, they've entered the structure.
That was fast.
All areas inside the structure are secured.
Well, this will likely take a few hours. There's a very complex...
Radiation normal? What? Already?
Enterprise, the energy system is now repaired.
All atomic levels are nominal. The energy source is functioning perfectly.
You sound upset.
Well, yeah. They're making me look bad.
We have completed the mission. You may return us to Enterprise.
Thought this would be a bit more exciting. But whatever. Hello, shore leave.
I haven't even broken into a sweat.
Welcome back.
I believe we will still be able to reach Permanente 3 within expected travel parameters.
I'm almost disappointed not to be able to take further advantage of my temporary Vulcan abilities.
Agreed. My communication style has never been so efficient.
How was the mission for you, Mr. Spock?
Ironic, because I was constantly reminded that I was logically the least Vulcan member present.
Don't worry. That's about to change. Any second now.
There's Chapel. What was that sub-vocalization?
What do you see?
For reasons unknown, the Karkovian serum does not appear to be working. It appears that we will remain Vulcans indefinitely.
Oh, good God, no.
I feel so bad for Spock.
Why do they all need to become Vulcans?
That's a good question.
I think the mission needed higher intelligent beings to lower the radiation or make whatever energy drive work more efficiently or better.
Yeah, that was Spock right there. Spock right there was. Oh, the look of hatred. Oh, the look of hatred. Oh, he's like, I am the least functional person of the team. I got reminded of this by 5 other people.
Spock, you are the least Vulcan of all of us. You must carry our equipment.
Oh, I almost want to sit there and go, now you know how it feels. That was funny. Oh, okay. That was a clip, guys, from the season 3 season of Strange New Worlds. If you haven't seen it, it is definitely fun to watch. Woo! I felt that burn all the way from here on Spock. But anything else I want to add to that?
Ensign Mount's hair gets bigger and bigger every season. I'm okay with it.
Oh man, that was funny. Woo! I'm sorry, Safari. What'd you think?
Interesting enough show. I may tune in for that episode specifically because.
Okay, so here's how you do Strange New Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
You do Discovery Season 1, Discovery Season 2, then Strange New Worlds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Discovery is kind of weird. So the first 2 seasons are pre-TOS, or the original Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Then they make a jump several thousand years into the future. And normal Star Trek line continues with Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's also a musical episode.
Oh yeah, you gotta watch. The musical episode is actually pretty good.
Of course there is.
At first, just trust me. If you got a chance, watch it. You will not be disappointed. But yeah, the last thing that we do got, guys, from San Diego Comic-Con before we do have a couple of other game video trailers that did come out, especially for Bleach, because Bleach Rebirth of Souls did come out with character trailers, and also a new game that is kind of reminding of an old game, which I wish they bring back. But we did get a teaser trailer for Like a Dragon Yakuza, so I haven't seen it, so let's see what's about. sit there and say is which story will it follow? Because again, if you play Like a Dragon basically just took over the. I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
No, Tony, Yakuza 1.
Oh, it's following 1. Okay, thank you.
We're like 6 games in, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're 8 games in.
Yeah, it's 8 games, and then it goes into
no.
No.
8.5.
Yeah.
No, 9.5. 0, 1, 2, 3. 4,
Okay, you're
5,
counting
6,
0. Yeah.
7. Man who removes his name. 8.
But that's like a Dragon series though. So there's Yakuza, and then it goes into Like a Dragon.
Okay, I thought this was going to be another game announcement. I didn't know this.
But I mean, still Kiryu until the last one.
Yeah. So it's not a game. This is actually the series. This is actually a live action series that Amazon Prime is running with. Which again, it's fun. If you play Like a Dragon, again, loved it, or Yakuza, depending on where you started. I know I started in Like a Dragon because I started right there with the Man Who Erased His Name. Great game if you haven't played it yet. Also, Infinite Wealth is fun as hell too. But yeah, it's basically gonna follow 1. So it's following 1. I'm not gonna ruin it for you guys. Basically, it's a rise to power story. I just hope Prime does it justice. That's about I'm hoping. I know, Joe. Hoping. I'm not sure if they're gonna
The
get
rise to power story that threw me off.
Oh, gotcha. But no, I'm just hoping that they do it right. Again, there is plenty of source material. The guys, the companies that create the games are still there. Just saying. I'm hoping they get it right.
Right now has a good track record of adapting video games into competent series.
So
the main actor is a former Kamen Rider. He was the car-based Kamen Rider, Kamen Rider Drive.
So I'm hoping. Like I said, I'm just hoping it's good. I'll still give it a fair shot once it's out on Prime Video. But like I said, plenty of room, plenty of source. Hope they go with it. But the last movie trailer that we do got, guys, because again, everybody has avoided Deadpool, Wolverine. Before we get into that, guys, I know I'm hopefully going to go see Deadpool and Wolverine tomorrow. Really quickly, Tapari, Joe, what did you guys think of the Deadpool Wolverine?
I think it lived up to the hype. It is definitely, if you can skimp out on getting comfier seats or fancy tickets, go for it. It's very much a go see it in a theater packed with other nerds type of movie. You will have a good time start to finish. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman as a dynamic duo deliver.
Joe?
It is everything we asked for and more.
Yeah, because I know I'm going to be the last one in the group. But hopefully, if all works well tomorrow, I will be able to go see it because I have listened to people talk about it. I don't mind spoilers because, again, I had certain bets on certain cameos. One cameo was confirmed for me, so thank you for that because I was right as hell on that one, so I'm not complaining. But, again, looking forward to it. But other movies have avoided Deadpool Wolverine, rightfully so, because you did not want to get lost in if arguably the most anticipated movie of 2024. That being said, as we did talk about other movies, Borderlands did also reveal their final trailer. And I'm not going to say I'm not impressed, but at the same time, well, I'll let you guys be the judge of it. Here's the trailer.
Brave Vault Hunters! You've come in search of the secret lost vault of Pandora!
You ready to kick some ass?
Okay, let's go.
Hey. Catch!
If the legends were true, I'm the only one who can open the vault. What are you doing?
Feel free to applaud.
Follow me this way. I have a tremendous sense of
Nobody kills me but me!
Here I come!
I don't want to.
It's big.
That's in my mouth.
You get a bullet. You get a bullet.
Big bullet coming.
How are we gonna get through this?
Everybody run!
All right, so that was the trailer, guys, for Borderlands. As you can see, it comes out August the 9th. I'm gonna be honest. And again, I didn't want them to spoil anything of it. Like I said, it's nothing really to spoil. It follows Borderlands. If you play Borderlands, you pretty much know the story of the Vault and the Vault Hunters. I'm just gonna throw this to you guys now, knowing this is the final trailer before the month, knowing that it's gonna be coming out very soon. Just gotta ask you guys, because again, this is August 9th. That means it's 7 days from now. Does it make you want to watch the movie, or does it make you want to hold off a little bit?
I don't have any history of Borderlands, so I would maybe go check it out. But yes, the lack of promotion with 7 days left and like a Kevin Hart cameo appearance at Comic-Con does not feel like, I don't think the movie's going to be bad, but I'm very surprised at how little they're trying to let people know it's out or it's going to be here.
Understandable. Joe?
Still, no matter what they do, and this is not to Kevin Hart's detriment as an actor or person, there is no way you're ever going to convince me that that man is Roland in this movie. No matter how badass they try to make him, it's just not going to work.
Just because the height difference.
It's not even the height, it's like the build. I mean, Roland's built to be like Michael Duncan, or is it?
Yeah, he's a tank. Yeah, he's a tank.
Yeah.
Michael Clark
And
Duncan.
then you
Michael Clark Duncan,
thank
yeah.
you, Michael Clark Duncan. I never can get his name right for that reason alone.
Green
But
Mile.
he's built like that in the game, or you're
Yeah.
going to tell me it's Kevin Hart in there in the movie. Like,
It is.
and again, not to detract from him as an actor, as a person,
Mhm.
but like, your job is to make people believe you're that character for this
Yeah.
movie. You're not doing it.
It is off-putting. I'm not gonna lie about that.
That-
But
and I'm just so burned out of Borderlands. I'm so burned out.
I want to give it a fair shot, especially.
Good.
True. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Borderlands, dude. I mean, I loved all. I think 3 was the pinnacle. The Telltale games were good too. The fact that obviously Handsome Jack is in this game, so I'm not gonna knock that. But the whole idea of it, honestly, is it makes me wonder: is it really gonna get the essence of it all? Because I think they're trying to lean more on the slapstick and less on the story. But that's just an observation. We'll know in 7 days whether or not it was worth the wait. But you guys let us know in the comments what you think. I mean, we could be wrong. It could be a mass following for all I know. But video games, before we get to our comic book pulls. The Run Got Next. If you have not seen this, you're going to get a lot of vibes of NBA Street, of NBA Homecoming, NBA Home Court, games like that. And because it's basically made from the same people that gave us those iconic games. But this is the trailer for The Run Got Next.
It's go time. All talk, baby. Come on. Now you see me. Now you don't. Hey, yo. I'm Spin Cycle, baby. I'm from round the way. Come and get it. Too slow. That's a big man. Put it down, girl!
My God.
Oh, yeah, baby!
Oh. Who's next?
All right, so that was the trailer for The Run Got Next, and it, like I said, I got NBA Street, home court, NBA Jam vibes. It is made from the same people that actually did do NBA Street. It is right now wish listed for next year, but it will be available on Steam, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. What do we think, fellas? Outside of the fact that a dude that big, why? I'm sorry, E Honda playing basketball just messed me up for a second.
In the Philippines, at that.
Right.
I need to see gameplay. It's a nice concept, but I need to see how it plays. Also, homie with the pink hair is giving Jet Set Radio vibes. I'm wondering what that's about. Has my attention, but I need them to do a little bit more groundwork.
Understood. Joe?
I'm going to do it. It's been such a long time since we had a decent 3-on-3 basketball game. I mean, if I could, I'd still be playing NBA Jam Street Tournament Edition and using the press up 7 times while holding start live for infinite firepower. But, that's me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. I just saw something that just kind of caught my eye for a second. One moment. Because I just saw something that really just caught my eye. Because the character, the official trailers for official Saiyan and Namek sagas. Oh, so there was a Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. So
did that drop over the weekend too?
Yeah, that dropped. I mean, it's exactly who we think it is.
Okay.
Yep. You know what? Pump it. We got time.
Yeah, I missed all
Yeah,
of
I'm not saying don't run it. I'm just saying there's no big surprises in this one.
You should join this, Kakarot.
My name isn't Kakarot. It's Goku, got it?
You have no idea how out of your league you are. You're going to die, fool.
Piccolo, your attack! Do it now!
Special beam cannon!
Well then, let playtime begin. I think you'll be the first to die. How's it feel, seeing your little friend's corpses scattered all over? Hey, you bastard! Even though I'm in a bit of a bind, this is always what gets me pumped. Body, don't fail me now! Vaporize you!
Challenging me? Don't you feel silly? Leave it to me.
Don't make me laugh. This isn't real. Madonna.
Simple tricks.
Go ahead. Underestimate me at your own peril.
We shouldn't breathe in the same air.
Huh?
You met the beauty, but now I introduce you to the beast. Fair warning, when I'm like this, I can't help but kill.
Yeah!
The Saiyans are a true warrior race! Don't underestimate us! I will resist, so long as I draw breath.
You'll never defeat me with such paltry power.
Look at you, boys!
Even I can beat a monkey.
It's our turn now, Vegeta. I like that body of yours. Change now! Whoa!
Do your worst, but if you think this is going to be easy, then you're dead wrong!
With each transformation, I become far more fearsome than before. Oh, well, excuse me.
Prepare yourself and behold the second transformation of the mighty Frieza.
I have no intention of allowing even a single Saiyan to live.
What? Okay, it's finally ready.
Is that all?
You ruthless, heartless bastard! me at my strongest, so here I am. Men, you'll die in disgrace at the hands of your master! You
Okay, the slots are actually starting to fill up now.
No, I'm not gonna lie. So it did show the Saiyan and Namek sagas. Okay, I mean, but yeah, Tafari, like you said, that character pool is filling up.
Are we censoring Frieza getting cut in half now? Is that where we're at?
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I mean, for it to be coming out, I think October 11th.
Yeah, October is going to be a good month for gaming.
It really is. Joey, anything you want to add to that? You're muted, Joe.
What I was saying, I wasn't really too impressed with this trailer because, like, there was no big surprises and we all knew what we were going to get. Like, this makes Raditz look decent.
Fair enough. But
homeboy, whoever is doing I'm blanking on his name, but whoever's doing the voice for Frieza now is he's carrying the torch since Chris passed away like 2 years ago.
I think it's his brother.
Yeah.
Is it?
I think it is.
I remember reading that the person was like an understudy of his and they were very close. I didn't know if they were related.
Maybe him then, because I know his brother is the one that does Frost.
I didn't realize. Frost was a slightly different. I was kind of sad they didn't do Linda Young for Frost.
Yeah,
because they brought Brian Drummond back to be the purple Vegeta.
Still, that's interesting. But October 11th is definitely gonna make this fun as all get out. So, with that being said, guys, the last three trailers that we do have again are from Bleach: Rebirth of Souls. As me and Joe showed the gameplay from it, these are actually the character trailers that we're going to show. So the first one is going to be always fan favorite, Kurosaki Ichigo.
Did they say if this is a mobile game or a console game yet?
This is a console game.
Okay.
No, this is a full-on this is an arena fighter.
Yeah, okay. So it's full on.
Come on, let's do this. Here it comes! There! I'm not losing.
So, just out of curiosity, I just wonder how many forms you're going to get in this game, because we already saw him in Bankai. We see him when he's kind of half possessed by his hollow. So I'm just kind of curious to see exactly what else other forms he's actually going to have beyond that. But what do y'all guys think of Kurosaki's profile?
Rest in peace, Shattered Blade. You tried when the Wii came out, but we haven't had anything good since Soul Resurrection on PS3. I'm curious to see, is this a CyberConnect 2 game or is this just like kind of a Storm clone-esque?
I got Storm vibes from it. Because I can't say it's CyberConnect.
Don't kill Bandai, so
yeah.
Okay. I'm curious to see
the last Bleach game I played was Heat the Soul 7 on the PlayStation PSP. So
I forgot that got made.
But where you gonna sit
this is
tomorrow?
we think that this is going all the way from Kingfisher to rescue Rukia. So that means he's got his big sword, the cleaver, and the Bankai, and part hollow mask Ichigo.
Okay. So basically, he's going to have his 3 forms.
Yeah.
He'll have his 3 forms then.
Not
Okay.
not full Vizard, but
half kind of possessed.
Half possessed.
Okay. But yeah, the next one we got, guys, forgive me, my hair is going all over the place. But anyway, next character profile we got is Rukia Kuchiki. Forgive me if I mispronounced that.
No, that's it.
I will defeat you here.
Huddle number 31! Shots are home! There's no escape! Dance! So Dano Shirayuki!
Okay, so hers is kind of the same thing. So yeah, Joe, you got a point. This is kind of in the Rescue Rukia because of her 3 forms.
Rescue Rukia.
With the actual one move that you're looking
the
at.
One move. This goes to the Vizard arc. So because Rukia Rukia gets her does her Shikai during the Vizard arc.
Yeah.
Yep. You're right. It just dawned on me.
This is at least goes to Arin. So now we have confirmation this goes to Arankar.
Yeah.
At
so
the very
exactly
least.
right. Because I forgot she did not release hers until. Yep, you're right. I completely forgot about that one.
She releases her Shikai at Arankar and then Bankai during the.
Well, Bankai was 1,000-Year Blood War. She doesn't release hers until then.
Right. So the Shikai is when she's fighting number 8, the dude that looks like the Ichigo, the dude that was the best one they got killed.
Grimjow.
The guy who more.
No.
What who has a trident that looks like Ichigo?
Kai.
God dang it! I can't think of his name to save my life right now.
No, I don't remember the bad guy's name, but he morphs into Captain Kaien, who apparently is like a distant relative of Ichigo's dad, which is why they look which is why they look exactly alike except for the hair color.
Oh, that's gonna bother me. I should know his name.
He's one of the Espada. He turns into other.
Yes.
He basically has the ability to morph into any dead soul that has been passed on.
I cannot think of that guy's name to save my life
He had the water trident.
Yeah, he had the water trident, and the hollow that infected Kaien was, I guess, a piece of him, and he was basically able to take the form of any Soul Reaper or person that hollow
he had like the water tube head.
Yeah, and she ended up, I think, releasing her ice to finally crack him towards the end.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yukiora. That fool. Oh, okay. That's the one I was thinking of that looked like him.
So this potentially goes at least to Arankar.
Yeah.
I hope we get at least to the, if not the finish, if not at least the first half of the Blood War, because the last game we had was Soul Resurrection, and that ended on Aizen.
True. Well,
it ended on Defense of Karakura down Aizen, or it ended on.
Final Getsuga Tensho Aizen.
Okay, Defense of Karakura down.
Yeah, that was Defense of the Town.
You can tell we're all Bleach fans.
Just don't leave me hovering like the TV show did. Let's not do that again.
You don't want to talk about Execution?
You know what it was? The filler arc before Execution did more for the final arc than the actual Execution did.
The
Like, we
Zanpakuto
see-
War?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the fact that Kubo liked some of those designs so much he kept them for when everybody basically had to relearn and rebond with their characters.
Yeah. It was a little off. I will
Didn't they
admit
like
that.
legitimately say something about that in one of the mangas too?
It was kind of
Like during the 1,000-Year Blood War, didn't like they actually make a one-off? It's like that one actually happened.
Yeah.
They made it one-off that it happened, but when the guy who becomes Captain Commander, I'm blanking on his name again.
Sosei or something.
Shinsui,
Yeah.
for some reason didn't have for some reason didn't fix his eye patch. But when you see the design of him and his Zanpakuto like
It has the eye
personalities, it's the same design from that filler, but she now has a patch just like him.
Yeah. Because that's basically the swords represent his dual personality.
Yeah.
It's weird the swords actually represent him versus, them being a opposite personality. But yeah, his character great. His character arc is crazy.
Did Execution do anything in the final arc? Like, I know they show up for like a page when they first ship them off to the Zero Division, and then you just see them in the back leave. And I'm like, what was the payoff here?
Nothing.
I don't know what the payoff in the Fullbring arc was. I still can't.
Filler. Pretty much Fullbring was just Ichigo getting his powers back. That was it.
Ichigo getting his powers back. Fullbring was Ichigo getting his human powers.
Mm-hmm.
Then 1,000-Year Blood War was him getting
his actual
super Shinigami powers. Mm-hmm. And then the second half was him getting his Quincy powers, because that's the one complaint I think everybody has, is that Ichigo is an actual literal Mary Sue, because he is everything in this. Every time an enemy pops up, he's somehow linked to them.
Yeah. Although, being half Quincy and half Reaper, that was interesting.
I did like the actual reveal of Zangetsu basically being his biggest help and crutch the entire time.
Oh, he was the safeguard. Yeah, I actually like the fact that Zangetsu came out of nowhere and said, "I am not your real Zanpakuto."
Because they kind of hint at it, because you realize in the beginning when he does try to say his real name, the bubbles fly over his mouth, and we just and after a while he just kind of stole Zangetsu's name.
Yeah,
but then to realize who he actually is, and because I started reading the manga when everything but the rain started, so I'm like, that was a nice jumping in point for me. And then going backwards and seeing everything that happened.
That's the crazy part. But yeah, the whole idea of him saying, I was only put here as to basically protect you from yourself, because if you were to try to go for your powers now, it would consume you, which is basically the explanation he gave him. It's like, I'm only here just because, well, you can't trust yourself, but now that I'm no longer needed, this is your true power. Jesus.
That, and they're technically not supposed to coexist in one body, which ends up being the big saving of everyone getting their Bankais back. So putting the suppression, but finding a way to blend them together was like an interesting concept. Because I like that we didn't just throw Zangetsu away. We at least let both of them like coexist.
Yeah. Which again, I hope they do the form justice. But anyway, I'm getting beyond myself. So we do have one last character trailer, guys. This one is Mr. Uryu, or as I like to call him. He's the reason why Old Boy and My Hero Academia exists, because I think they based it off of him. Ingenum is what I'm getting at. But anyway, yeah. If you look at Ingenum and you look at Uryu, I'm like, they based you off of him. That's the only way I could put that. But anyway, here's the character trailer for him.
Now then, let's begin. Here I come! Huh? I'll get you. What? Run so Tengai!
I won't hold back.
So what's interesting about yep, Joe, you had it right. So this is going through the Arunkar arc because it does show that one move that he does use on old boy, Sapporo, and then he goes back to the one move that he used when he was fighting 13, when he was fighting what's his name? The 13 squad's captain. Weird guy. I cannot think of
Mayuri.
Thank you. He was fighting him. So don't get me wrong, it looks great. I just wish there was more gameplay. That's the one gripe I'm gonna have about this. Don't get me wrong. I love the fact that we're seeing character profiles. I know more are gonna come out as the week goes on, as we get close to this game being released. But it's like gameplay would be nice. That's all I'm saying. But
the gameplay trailer.
Yeah,
well, I mean, that shows
if there's a story mode that's gonna drop, or if they're gonna have.
I'm sure there will be.
There probably will be.
I'd be curious to see if it's a mix of like Mugen hack and slash along with Arena Fighter, kind of like Soul Resurrection was. I'm also curious what this reverse fate thing is. That like a mechanic in the game, or is that just a
So,
Go ahead, Joe.
the gameplay trailer did show all this thing, but unfortunately, they explained it purely in Bleach terminology, so no one knows what the hell they're talking about.
Pretty much. But that's the reason why I said that's the reason why I'm saying for this aspect, I think it would do them a lot better justice if they did actually show it in the same way Naruto did Storm. How Naruto did Storm and or the next games after that. If they showed it in that way to where it was easily a bit more picked up, because yes, Joe is right. They did go a little too technical as far as the gameplay, which a lot of people, especially if you're just seeing Bleach the first time, you may not pick up on. Unless you're deep into the manga or if you watch the anime, you'll get exactly where they're coming from. But from a gameplay standpoint, you want to make things as easy to explain and pick up as possible because you want people to play the game, which is why I think that hopefully they'll come out with another trailer that'll be a little bit more toward that area and not just be, I'm not going to say strict, but, loosen up a little bit is what I'm getting at. But what do you guys think?
Based on the Ryu thing, I think this is just a prettier version of Heat the Soul. Which was an arena fighter, but mostly was also kind of like a Soul Calibur based.
Yeah.
Where you can go in and out of the backgrounds or move around them while holding a button.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what it's looking like, which I'm okay with. But so what we mean by that, Tafari, is they were explaining, get the player's health bar down, which they just called Ryatsu. And if you do enough damage, you damage their Konpaku, which was like a life point. If you knock out all 9 Konpaku, you win. It's just say life stocks or something. Just say health bar.
Okay.
Have a reverse of fate. It's okay, so if you get them down to a certain life stock, then they can bump up a level.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, it just depends on how they sell it. Because I want this Bleach game to do well because, like I said, Bleach games like Zoid games. I love Zoids, but there's only 3-4 games in existence I know, and those are all hard to find. So I'm hoping, Bleach does exceptionally well in this one. Yes, I say hard to find, Joe, because trust me,
It's on the Nintendo eShop right now.
Oh, I refuse to go in the eShop right now, but I'll tell you why later. But
Zoid, yeah, but I mean, you can get Zoid Wild right now.
I know, but there's a reason why I'm not going into eShop though. I'd rather get the actual cartridge. But I'll go into that with you later. Why I don't want to support that at the moment. But yeah, hopefully Bleach does do well. Again, more gameplay is needed, more instruction, if you will. But it was great. I'll leave it at that. But that's the news that we have, guys, from San Diego Comic-Con, as well as everything else. Before we do get into our comic pulls of the week, We always do want to show love to Rick's Comic City. Rick's Comic City is the #1 place in Nashville, Tennessee to get comics, to get mangas, collectibles, things of that nature. You want it, they have it. It's actually there. You can go to either locations in Nashville or Clarksville, Tennessee. You can also go to their website at rickscomiccity.com. Again, if you are in the Middle Tennessee area, please go out there and support them. Let them know the guys at Get Bit sent you. It does not continue discounts, but it lets you. But again, you see our mugs on their television. They show us love, so we want to show them love. And also, if you are not in the Middle Tennessee area, guys, please support your local comic book stores, support your local libraries. Again, it is the experience that you're going for, not just because of the convenience. There's nothing that replaces going to a comic book store or a library, because again, that's where the books are, especially banned books. So if you do go into a library, kids, please read the banned books. Some libraries actually now have a shelf for banned books. So again, read the books they don't want you to, because they expand your mind and expand your thinking. So again, if you are in the Middle Tennessee area, guys, support Rick's Comic City. If you are not, support your local libraries, support your local comic book stores. You will definitely miss them when they're gone. With that being said, Joe, I do see that you got your comic books ready, sir. So whenever you're ready.
First issue we got is Task Force 7 #3, Jadestone. So we are looking at the Amazo that's going after the JSA, who's absorbed Alan Scott's Green Lantern powers. This is written by Jeremy Adams with art by Marco Santucci, and colors by R.F. Pirantano. Once again, we start seeing that the Amazos are starting to, when they acquire their superhuman counterparts' abilities, we're also acquiring their superhuman counterpart consciousness. In this scenario, the Amazos programming is also being not slowly corrupted, but also like dual ridden with the Green Lantern's powers, where it's even like suggesting to itself, like, Waller's a threat and we need to capture her like immediately for the sake of all the greater good. And normal program is like, no, we kind of need to tell her stuff. But like the Lantern program is like, no, this woman bad. Capture bad woman. No, really, the Ring even says that one thing is like capture bad person.
Yeah, it does. I love the fact how the Ring. I love the fact how the Ring actually gave Amazo choice, and it messed with him. That's the part that killed us. Like, and you see, and again, you see it with Waller, where he's like, "Do I take Waller?" And it's like, I have a choice. I can go against my programming. So you do see that the Ring is affecting its intelligence at the same time, and not to get too far ahead. Even Alan Scott himself is like, maybe there's a way out of this. So, but yeah, I thought that part was cool.
Because this Amazo does not have a standard Green Lantern's powers. This one absorbed Alan Scott, who is gets his power from the mystical Starheart. So it's space Green Lantern magic that's giving this Amazo choice. I wonder if that means it's going to end up like the one hunting Lex Luthor in Unlimited. That one ish, that one Amazo, where it's like, what did you do with Oa? I moved it. You destroyed it. No, I moved it. Can you put it back? Okay, it's done. It's back where it was.
But yeah, but Absolute Power is starting to look.
Good, but I enjoyed it. We are looking at Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Darkest Hour #1. This is the series finale. Power Rangers is done after this. This is written by Melissa Flores with art by Simona D. Gina Felice and Raul, colors by Raul Angelo. I don't want to spoil too much about this one, but we get a lot of morphing, a lot of double dealing. Some people get together. Some people, some Rangers die. Good wins in the end, but at what cost? There are multiple Tommies. good finale to like an 8-year run that became so dynamic and so out there, but still so beloved. We got to talk to Steve Orlando about this, which we will talk about our interview after we do the comics. But we talked about his role in this Power Rangers comic. He wrote the first 12-issue backup stories about Bulk and Skull, and they get their fair share in this book as well.
I was going to say, is this the comic run you were asking him about?
Yes.
Okay.
Because he wrote the backup stories for Bulk and Skull in issues 1 through 12, which is many, many years ago. Still, I wanted to bring it up. Speaking of Steve Orlando, we're looking at Annihilation 2099 number 5 with Dracula and the Lord of the Vampires. Written by Steve Orlando, art by Daniel Eaglesham, and cards by Raul Angelo. Aliens have captured Dracula and his generals and are experimenting on them because they've never seen vampires before, and Dracula just slowly bides his time and starts breaking out, and things go south for those poor aliens, which turn out that they are the evil space Vikings that Spider-Woman 2099 come from, as told to us by Steve Orlando.
Nice. Although it was interesting to see Dracula just all of a sudden just Wi-Fi blood plasma from his generals to himself. That was impressive.
I mean, it's Dracula. He can do anything he wants. No one's going to argue with him. It's like, when did you get that power? I'm Dracula. I have all the powers.
I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Next up, we're looking at Miss Marvel. This is annual number 1. This is part of the Infinity Watch storyline. This is written by Iman Vellani, actress and Miss Marvel herself, along with Saber Perzada, with art by Jadea Belvuso and colors by Yin Nitro. This is nice in between where Kamala's on break, hanging out with friends, and someone with the Soul Stone, I believe. It's yellow, so it's gotta be the Soul Stone. Starts coming in and wrecking crap, and then they fight, and then they're friends, and then more shenanigans. It's just nice annual that helps get you caught up with what's going on with Ms. Marvel, because now she's a mutant and one of the starring mutants in NYX, but still having her own solo adventures. And I'll say this, Iman Vellani has come a long way as a comic writer. It's still consistently good, and she knows her own character. So, nothing's out of the ordinary, and I'm enjoying the book.
Yeah, I did enjoy this one. This was actually a nice little. It was a different story, a source with multitude, with the ability to mimic different heroes because of the Soul Stone. But yeah, it was good. It was a good story.
Next, we got Blood Hunt number 5 of 5, written by Jed McKay, drawn by Pepe Larraza, and art by Pepe Larraza, and colors by Marty Garcia. This is the finale. Everything hinges on this. A status quo has actually shifted in Marvel. Multiple status quos have actually shifted in Marvel. They defeat Blade. They don't kill him, but come pretty close to it. Vampires can now walk in daylight, and Dr. Doom has usurped the title of Sorcerer Supreme, leading into our winter event, Doomed.
I still find it funny where Doctor Strange is like, "You give me your word, Doom. Once you save the world, you will give back the Sorcerer Supreme mantle." And he's like, "Yeah, my word." I would have been like, "You need to stress that just a little bit differently."
Now, Doom, remember your oath. Your oath. Be gone.
He's like, "I remember my oath. When the world is safe, I will give it back to you. I will give the title back to you. And the world is not exactly how I see it. This is why when you're dealing with Doom, words and details matter."
It's that fine print. No, good book. Anyone who's still a vampire is still currently a vampire in continuity, so that means Miles is still a vampire.
Yep.
And Dracula got to win out of this because now all vampires can walk in the daylight.
However, it's gonna be interesting to see him go against Doom. That's gonna be interesting as all get out. But I'm for it.
Yeah, I mean, they made Jubilee a vampire and that kind of add-to character, so it's going to be interesting to see Miles be not only a vampire, not only be a Spider-Man, almost the Spider-Man at this point, because stuff is still going on in that other book that just flat out sucks. They had the goal in Spider-Man 54 to actually put the end in that book. No, we still got another arc to go before that stuff ends.
It's kind of messed up, but I see your point.
But no, like a lot of stuff has changed. So, like anyone that's still currently a vampire in New York is a normal daytime walking vampire.
Yep.
So, like that stuff can still happen.
True. The fact that it's going to be surrounding Doom, can we honestly say the timing of that, concerning the information we got, the timing behind of it all?
Good book.
We might be slightly delayed. Try again,
We
Joe.
are back in sync.
Uh-oh. Hang on. You back with us, Joe?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right. Go for it.
It's the interwebs. Speaking of Spider-Man books that we enjoy, though, Ultimate Spider-Man number 7, or as I like to call this, the training issue. Because that's all this really is. Peter and Harry just like go to a kung fu dojo, train. Otto's recording things. They apparently activate the Norman Osborn AI system, which just tells Harry you're kind of a weak piece of crap compared to this dude. And like this is how the Green Goblin goes bad. The AI is going to take over the suit, or it's going to drive Harry nuts. One of the two.
Probably the latter.
Meanwhile, and I was very curious what MJ and Gwen was doing. Were they buying a building for Jonah and Uncle Ben to run their paper out of? Or did they just buy like a random building?
I want to say they were looking for them, honestly. But I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, but no, still fantastic issue. I love this Spider-Man. The humor is hilarious in this. Because like they're actually kind of afraid to punch each other, and then when they finally punch each other, things get serious, and they're like, "Hell no!"
He's like, "You really did hit me." He said, "So did you." And that's a fair point. They didn't pull. For all their punch pulling, they did. They were like, "You actually tried to hit me." It's like you didn't stop. But no, it was good. It was a good issue. But my money still is Harry is going to be corrupted by his father's AI. I see that coming. But go ahead, Joe.
Yep. And finally, we're looking at X-Force number 1. This is the new version of X-Force where they're all in red. This is actually a pretty decent team lineup. I don't know who Tank is for the life of me. I want to say it's Colossus trying to atone for sins of everything that happened, but like it's gonna be a completely new dude. I've just never heard of Tank, but it's got Sage, Rachel, Captain Britain, of course Forge, because Forge is leading it. Deadpool makes a guest appearance in this one because it's X-Force and his movie's coming out. And the reason I'm reading it is Surge, who's the Japanese electrokinetic speedster. Plus, I'm also reading for Captain Britain because I loved Excalibur, but I enjoyed this. What do you think this time? Was this actually more your taste this time around?
That I have to actually read. I didn't actually get to read the first issue of X-Force as of yet, so I'll have to get back to you on that one. It is on my list to read. But yeah, I'll get back to you on that one once I have a chance to read it.
So Forge makes a sphere that contains the ley lines of the planet that alerts them to whenever there's a fracture, so they can go fix it. So the whole point of this is Forge is going to take the team around and fixing whatever is causing a crisis at Earth that needs saving, or at least what he deems needs saving. It's Forge, so that could be both a good or a bad thing. The rest of the team is still fantastic. Everyone joined on the condition that there's no Deadpool, and of course he immediately brings Deadpool in. But even Deadpool's like, I'm only here for this issue. This isn't an official movie tie-in.
Dang.
He literally says this is the unofficial movie tie-in.
You gotta love fourth wall breaks. You have to love fourth wall breaks.
Deadpool is also the reason why they win against what they're fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So no, this is not bad. I enjoy it. This is one of the few times I've actually enjoyed X-Force, because normally I'm not big into the X-Force style storylines, but I'll definitely give this a shot, mostly because I like the majority of the cast.
Nice. Well, I'm definitely going to have that on my list. I'm definitely going to have that on my list to read this week, so I definitely want to see if it's going to be worth the hype. But yeah, definitely I get that a shot.
And this is written by Jeffrey Thorne with art by Marcus 2 and colors by Eric Jeffrey Thorne. He was the one who did the that weird Green Lantern run. Remember where Jon Stewart had like the laser blaster and how he became Emerald Knight in the first place?
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, he's writing X-Force.
Oh, okay. I can read. Oh, that's gonna be good then. I actually did like that what he did with Jon Stewart. But
we like what we did with Jon Stewart, not the rest of the Green Lantern Corps, where it's just like, it's a Green Lantern book. No one has the rings anymore.
I'm just saying he did well with Jon Stewart. I can't explain what the ring did
I'm
with
not
the
arguing
rest.
that. I'm not arguing
But
that.
yes, but
that's everything.
Yeah, but I was going to say, not to cut you off, Joe, because as Joe did say, him and Tafari did get to interview a great artist. Joe, Tafari, would y'all like to speak more on that?
I mean, I was just bouncing off Joe because it was apparently we all got in like right at the same time because he was just getting off of GalaxyCon, but he loosened up real quick. He gave us a lot of like inside stories and just like fun little tidbits behind the scenes. Apparently Batman fans overanalyze every damn thing down to apparently down to the hand he writes with was a big deal. That was a fun little side story he gave us. Different stuff he's been getting nominated for a GLAAD award, different teams he's worked with, the ways him and his friends used to just mess with each other while working on books.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun, honestly.
Cool.
Yeah, Steve Orlando was an awesome guy. Very, very proud of his Martian Manhunter run he had. They said fight through hell to just get the book made. I asked him, which was a question one of my friends asked me to ask him, and I hope that got answers. Like, how does it feel to having your book continuously relaunch? Because Scarlet Witch is now relaunched a third time.
Oh.
No, like it's continuing the same story.
Oh,
it's
okay.
just having a relaunch because it was really Scarlet Witch, then Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, then back to Scarlet Witch.
Okay, gotcha. I thought it was the other way around. Okay, that makes sense.
And that he's always going to be the 2099 guy. So I just flat out was like, so when are you writing X-Men 2099? He's like, not yet, but it's coming.
You reached the NDA territory?
Yeah, we did a couple times, and then we asked like some really, it's like, what was the hardest book to work for? What's the easiest book to work for? I asked a very obvious Joe question, like, so when is Wanda and Magic getting together in the book? Like, when is Magic making her cameo appearance? Like, not anytime soon, but we'll see what we can do.
Nice.
He was just awesome to talk to. We mostly stuck to comics because, we didn't know that he was a huge wrestling fan, but he said he would like to come back on later down the road, talk wrestling with us.
Sweet. That is definitely, we will keep that in mind. And yes, we will start including wrestling just because a lot of great things are happening in the world of wrestling right now, especially with AEW and TNA. I'm not going to say Joe Henry because, again, everybody will go right into the hand clap because that tune is catchy, and I give that man credit for that. But we will start talking more about the state of wrestling in the coming weeks. So we definitely will. If Mr. Orlando will have us, we will definitely have him back on for that. But thank you, Joe, for the comic book pool. So as we wrap this up, Tafari, I'm going to get to the point to where I'm going to pronounce your name properly. That's the reason why I keep on throwing that out there.
Have I been saying it wrong the whole time?
We've all been saying it wrong the whole entire time. He's got you know what? Before I put him on blast, he's got a whole freaking video that he decided to say, this is how you pronounce my name. I have been knowing this cat for almost damn near close to a year. And he just now decided to let everybody know, oh, this is how I pronounce my name. I'm sitting looking at him like, so you've been letting me destroy your name for the almost last year? That's messed up.
This is like my counterpart at work where he's African, so it's Julio, but everyone says it's Julio, and he just rolls with it.
A little bit. It ends in an I, not an E. And I realized, I was like, this is going to be my 1,000th video on YouTube. How do I introduce this? And I'm just like, right. I've never actually said on camera, how do you say it? Also, before we go to DreamCon, y'all called me out 1,000 times in the wrong way. Let me just sprinkle this out there. Why did it get 20,000 views on the drive to Austin? I'm like, I don't even know 20,000 people. Meanwhile, the comments are just, what? Wow, thanks for telling me. Thanks, you jerk. Versus, like, I just got side eyes from Kira, Roxy, and, like, all our friends in person. Like, now you tell us?
We did kind of side eye you because we're like, we've been
But
destroying
what you're telling me is you basically John Constantine everybody.
Yeah.
It happens. I had an uncle who, for like 20 years, we kept calling him Eon, and then we realized Caribbean accent. His name is actually Ian.
See, with that being said, Tafari, would you like the people know what you're up to, sir?
Yes, we actually just continued the Kevon anime saga on Blurred's Eye View. So Kev on stage got to do his first anime convention and cosplay and press conference. That just went up over on the Blurred's Eye channel. I will be posting my own thing. It's kind of a adventure of me and the Blurred's Eye crew going to DreamCon as well as Deadpool and Wolverine and our raw reactions and thoughts and whatnot. So be on the lookout for that. We also have a lot of stuff from BlurredCon still. Got to sit down with Najee Jeter, who plays Spider-Man on the PlayStation games. Got a little bit of info about whether or not Spider-Verse may be in his future. Also got to sit with Cleo Thomas again and Chase Conley, who worked in X-Men 97. Got to talk about working on the show, the Emmy nomination, the fact that they knew episode 5 was going to be absolute insanity. Also got a lot of cool freebies. So shout out to YouTube Official. They hosted a lounge. They invited us over too. Got a lot of cool stuff. Apparently YouTube Gaming's mascot is like this little bear that I didn't know about. Nice. So got this. Chili's came. They gave out free gift cards and t-shirts. YouTube had like a meet and greet scavenger hunt. So you got like a bear, a free t-shirt, a free hat that I'm probably never going to wear, but will be decoration. Shout out to Carl and Love Jones. They couldn't make it, but their associate Chris came in their place. It was giving out Martian Blueberry shirts. So thank you, MB and the family. Thank you, Ozzy, for giving me the card stand. So now that I can actually sit these things on my desk properly. And shout out to Ozzy and Biz. They also gave me a lanyard that's lying around here somewhere. But lots of fun stuff, lots of cool content coming out of that for the next couple months. So stay tuned.
Nice. Joe, you will know what you're up to, sir?
Now I got to remember how to say your name correctly.
I'm telling you,
just touch your eyeball at the end. That's how I tell everybody.
See, the funny part is I've been saying his name throughout this entire podcast as a point because I'm like, I have been saying this man's name wrong this entire doggone time.
See, but that's not fair because I just always remember when I was first learning your name, it's just Safari, but with a T.
See, Safari with the T, but then you end it with an eyeball. I wish I had learned how to like tell people to do this before college. Did not think of a proper like hand gesture until like I was out of school. It's like all my substitutes would have really appreciated this.
I don't know. When I say Safari, I'm thinking it's like I've been on multiple safaris.
Those work too.
Oh, wow.
Anyways, me and Tafari are got through Ultraman 3 and 4. He is still invested in it, surprisingly. I still am too, but it's just been good. We got to see Kid get his parents killed. We got to see him take on Kaiju Pikachu. Next week we get to see a lake monster fight. So it's still going good, still going strong. Other than that, I've just been playing Monster Hunter either on Twitch or not. Been stuck on a monster for like a week and a half because like he's not like final boss. I'm past the final boss. Now I'm in the after game content, so it's like, oh, you beat the final boss. Here's harder stuff.
Yeah, nothing says challenge like Dark Soul-esque.
No, I actually have the gems that let me dodge roll even easier and better and further. It's just like it's a dragon of tornadoes and lightning constantly.
Nice.
Not really, no.
Still not enough. Still not enough.
I mean, I'm actually doing it where like other hunters come in. And I can't tell if I know it's adaptive and it gets harder the more hunters you have in the fight with you. But at the same time, I can't tell if I'm screwing up more or these people are screwing up the job for me.
Damn.
So I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm not going to say it's the other people because, like, no one's actively bad at Monster Hunter on purpose because, like, we are all share the same source pool, reward pool. So, like, your rewards are my rewards as well. So,
yeah, fair point.
But really, that's it. Just, work and life and whatnot. Remember to go vote. We are currently voting at the state and federal level. Please go out. Please go vote. It's very important. I can't stress that enough.
Highly important. Highly important is right. Well, thank you, Joe. Guys, for myself, first let me do some shameless plugging as well. BlurredStation.com. We keep stressing this, guys. This is the vehicle, the table that we've always wanted, the place to where we can have our content that we own, that we can view and basically grow from. Again, it's $10.99 a month. $10.99 a month to view Blurred Station, to view television shows, movies, anime, comics, you name it, it is definitely there. If you decide to join Blurred Station, please go to blurredstation.com at the Join Now button. Select the Blurred's Eye View Affinity membership. You can either select myself, Black Spartan, or Tafari TV. Yes, I'm going to keep saying that. Either one of us.
Repetition helps. Also, Bo DeMaio likes our beta, so you should too.
Oh, that's right. Bo did get to see it. Thanks. Shout out to Hellspawn Cosplay for that.
Bo and Mark Phillips of RDC both gave us compliments on the beta.
Nice. But again, Tafari TV or Black Spartan, either one of us as affiliate partners, we would certainly appreciate that. After 36 months paying $10.99 a month, guys, you do get to own a piece of Blurred Station. If you are a content creator and would love to have your content on Blurred Station, you do need to join as a member first. That allows you to talk to people behind the scenes, and if everything works out, your content will also be on Blurred Station, and you get to own it. It's just that Blurred Station does ask for a piece of distribution. You can't beat a deal like that. So, for all those that are wondering, where's our table? Where's our place for our content? You now have it at blurredstation.com. As for me, guys, you can find me Black_Spartan615 on the socials. Talk about everything. The only thing I ask is just don't be weird. I really don't want to have to block you and do all this kind of stuff because, again, I am an open guy. I like to talk about everything, not just comics and anime and sports and wrestling, but current event stuff and stuff going on too in our world. Like Joe said, voting is very important. You just do it, please. Beyond that, guys, the podcast, How the Frack We Got Here, of course, my daily political podcast, weekly political podcast, I should say, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Of course, Get Bit Podcast, you're watching now on Fridays. Both these podcasts can be seen or heard wherever podcasts can be heard or watched, wherever you get them. But again, always check out our Facebook and YouTube pages where you can actually find our content there, mostly YouTube, because Facebook is kind of becoming a dying animal. So again, support us there if you would please. Again, also, like a good friend of ours, Navy Montel, or I like to call him Reverend Navy, would say, a like, a share, and a follow costs nothing but means everything. Support us the same way you would support Beyonce, or the same women that pay $1,000 to get a picture with Chris Brown. Although I would love to be on that level, but I'm just saying. But with that also being said, guys, as we do wrap this up, we will hopefully be back here next Friday, same Get Bit time, same Get Bit channel, although it might be without me because I haven't announced this, but I'll go ahead and announce it now that me and my wife are expecting our baby girl next Friday. So it just might be Tafari and Joe running the show for a little while yours truly is going to be spending time with my Dora Milaje. So hoping that everything goes well there. Also, check out Tafari TV because, again, he has this wonderful how-to on how to get through your first con. I highly recommend watching it just because it's a lot of helpful tips in there, but I'll stick with the 3 that I love the most. Number 1, respect the cosplayer at all times. Respect the cosplayer at all times. Cosplay is not consent. Please, guys, treat these people the same way you would treat your mother, that you would treat your sisters, that you would just treat people on the street. Basic human decency. They are not your playthings. They are not your play toys. They are not your fantasies. Please do not be creepers on them. Simply put, treat them the way you would want to be treated. At the same time, guys, cosplay is for everybody. Regardless of your height, weight, color, preference, you can cosplay as anything that you want. The only thing you can't do is blackface. Don't want your ass kicked at a con? Don't do blackface. It's that simple. Number 2, hygiene is important. Please, guys, come to these cons clean, as in you took a shower, you took a bath, you put on clean clothes, you put on deodorant, you may have put on cologne or fragrances. Those are fine as long as you don't go heavy on them. Please don't use native deodorant. Native deodorant doesn't work. Natural deodorant doesn't work. Nobody, if you have a musk, come on now. There's ways to make sure it doesn't enter the room before you do. Hygiene is important. And again, the number 3 rules I have is the same rule that I have for everybody else, not just at cons. Be nice, be kind. Manners are everything. And above all else, don't be a dick, and we'll all be cool. But as we wrap this up, guys, any last words, guys, we have before we call it a night?
Sleep is great. Get as much of it as you can.
In your case, yeah, you, sir, you traveled and then some. But again, like we said, guys, here at Get Bit, it's all about sharing fandoms. We love them. We debate them in normal decency. At the same time, we love to share them. We are not gatekeepers or put people down because our taste is different than others. There is nobody that has it right about animes, or about mangas, or comics, or movies, or anything of that nature. If you like what you like, that's fine, but share it and be positive about it. And again, be open to experiences, to things that you may not have done before because you might find something new. I found that out with Lower Decks, and I'm a big fan of it because Joe showed me. At the same time, Tafari has shown me some things that, again, I've become fans of. So it's all about having that open experience. It's all about learning. It's all about sharing. And if we do that, maybe we can kill the toxic fandom that's already out there, because above all else, don't be a dick. And again, we'll all be cool. That'll do it for us, guys. Thank you all for watching, for liking. Again, this will basically be up. The audio and the video will be up pretty soon. But again, guys, take care of yourselves and each other. Please go out there and vote. Please stay hydrated because it's still hot outside. And we'll see you guys later. Peace.